Namaste everyone. Welcome to our 27th day of the 29th annual World Yoga Festival and the 8th International Day of Yoga celebration. We had wonderful events last 27 days with the religious leaders, ashramites, doctors, professors, yogis, yoginis, musicians, artists, diplomats, politicians, on and on. And we had beautiful Yogasana sports section. This is the first time we are hosting that one online. We had 23 countries participating in the championship. Still, final is going on. I hope they will finish by 29th and we can announce the positions prices on 30th. Today we have great speakers and we will have a lot of laugh today because our laughing yogini Poonam Gupta is here, and Reverend Bruce Shankar from the Integral Yoga Institute in New York. He's a director board member there, and Professor Srigala M. Nair, professor at the Department of Philosophy at Sri Shankara University of Sanskrit in Kerala, India. And Dr. Monica Sanchez supposed to be here. Dr. Ada Okega, both are from NGO representative from the UN. And Reverend Imam Arif Haskik should be here. Dr. Nida Jain, she's the district Democratic Party leader and a Jain leader. And the last person is Sri Suresh Alangar from the Isha Foundation. He gave a beautiful presentation yesterday. So many people like that presentation. Very specific videos. That's the best part about it. And we have some bhajans also. So let us see who is coming today. One of the religious leaders is getting hard time to get the internet. So we'll start with our laughing. That'll be wonderful to start. That is Poonam Gupta. Floor is for you.
Thank you, Guru Dileepji.
Okay.
It's my absolute pleasure to be here with all of you today, and great to laugh in the morning first thing. Then whole day goes so much better. Not just this day, but many days will go better because of laughter. So what is laughter yoga, first of all? Yeah, laughter yoga combines simulated laughter with yogic breathing. And why it was invented, because a physician in India in 1995, Dr. Kataria, found that the fake laughter gives you all the same benefits as the real laughter. So now we do not need to depend on jokes or humor, because laughter is the best medicine and we all want to laugh, but we do not know how. So he devised techniques to be able to laugh without depending on any jokes or humor, without making fun of anybody. And he combined yogic breathing with that, and he called it laughter yoga. And since then, there are 60,000 clubs in over 50 countries all over the world for laughter. So what we all have heard, laughter is the best medicine, because when we laugh, our brain produces a flood of positive neurotransmitters that boosts our immune system, and our nervous system and circulatory system all get all the benefits. And it releases stress so much so that we have, because so many diseases have these days are because of stress only, like high blood pressure, heart disease, depression, insomnia, and laughter is the best way to release stress. There have been many studies done on the efficacy of laughter yoga, and they found that in just 15 days, people's stress level reduced significantly, and they had lower blood pressure, lower heart rate, lower cortisol rate. And even they did the laughter yoga research and studies at workplace, and they found that productivity increased by 50% of the employees. So that is all the benefits. And laughter is something which is available to us 24/7. We doctors prescribe it, but we do not need prescription. It has no side effects, 100% natural. And best of all, it is free, no cost associated with that. So today we'll practice laughing together. Laughter is, we start with fake laughter, but it is so contagious that pretty soon it turns into real laughter. But there are a few rules. It's a great cardiovascular exercise. So if you feel any pain or discomfort, please take a break and listen to your body. Fake is fine. Like I said, it turns into real laughter very quickly. And we'll use the language of laughter today and we'll be happy and energetic. So let's start with first gradient laughter. So we just start laughing. So let's just start laughing like that. Can all of you unmute yourself so that we can hear each other laugh? That will be nice because laughter is the best sound for our ears and for our system. So let's hear each other laugh. That was a good warm-up. So if I would request all of you to stand up now and we'll do some more, and please unmute yourself so that we can all hear each other. Okay, next we will do I know your secret laughter. It's a naughty laughter. So shake your finger and laugh as if you're telling everybody here on the screen that I know your secret. So let's do that. Very nice. Now we'll do wipe your stress laughter. We have so much stress accumulated every day. So we'll do that action. We'll wipe it and shake and laugh. While wiping it, we'll create a hey sound. Hey. 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 Okay, very nice. Let's take a breathing break because it is very good, intense cardiovascular. So raise your arms up and breathe in and breathe out and embrace yourself. Again, breathe in, embrace the whole world. And breathe out and embrace yourself. Okay, very nice. Now we'll do huge bill laughter. So you got a credit card bill in the mail and it is huge. So we cannot change the bill, but we definitely can change the response towards it. So look at your huge bill and you're not happy, but you choose to laugh at it. And you can show your huge bill on the screen and laugh at each other's huge bills. I like that. Great, great. So now we will do cell phone laughter. We talk on cell phone all the time, and today we'll do it with laughter. So whenever we are talking and we are smiling, laughing, the other person may not be able to see us, but they definitely do get the energies. And that conversation, there is a shift in the conversation. it changes your connection, your conversation with the person. So hold an imaginary cell phone and laugh as if the other person is telling you something so funny and humorous and while talking. Very nice. Now we'll do I messed up laughter. So many times we make mistakes and we beat ourselves up about it. We feel guilty about it, and it's not good for us. And sometimes we even have hard time taking the ownership of it. So let's take ownership of something that I have messed up, and you point finger at you, say, I know I've messed up, and I take the ownership of it, I take the responsibility of it, and I choose to laugh at it because I learned from my mistakes. So let's do it. Okay, very nice. Now we'll do ho ho ha 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 clap, because when we clap, all our acupressure points are pressed and it's very good for you. And the sound of clap is also very good for your system. So let's do ho ho ha ha ha. Ho ho ha ha ha. Ho ho ha ha. Ho ho ha ha ha. Ho ho ha ha. Ho ho ha 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 ha ha. Very nice. Now, when we shower or bathe, we put some lotion or cream or oil on our body. So today we will do it with laughter and with lot of love. And if you do that every day when you're doing it, and you will see that how your health improves. So now, first let's produce a laughter cream between our hands with lot of love for ourselves. And let's apply it and laugh because it's a laughter cream. Very nice. So there are times when we want to laugh because it releases stress. So if you have a big meeting or some presentation coming up, you can laugh just right before it, and your presentation, whatever meeting, it will go much better. But you cannot laugh in public. So you will practice silent laughter. So you can go into the bathroom and you can just sit there and you can laugh silently. Nobody has to know, but you would be much more prepared for the better outcome. So let's do silent laughter, no sound, but we laugh. Very nice. Okay, we'll do now mixing our mango shake. It's the season of mangoes. So let's make our mango shake and we'll drink and laugh. And while shaking, while mixing, we'll create a hey sound. Hey, hey. Hey, Hey, hey. One last time. Hey, hey. Okay, great. So, Guru Dileepji, let me know if you want me to end or continue going for a
Yeah,
couple more.
because one speaker is waiting in the car.
Oh, okay. So let's do breathing in the end so that we get
Yeah,
ready for the
yeah.
next speaker. So take your arms up, breathe in, embrace the whole world. It's yoga day, union with everybody, and breathe out and embrace yourself, union with yourself. One more time, great job everybody, union with the whole world, embrace the whole world. And breathing out, embrace yourself. That's what we need the most, our own love. It was such a pleasure to laugh with you today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Yogini, for your laughing. So everybody can laugh every day, morning, afternoon, evening. Even don't laugh during the night. Family will get scared. So that was wonderful. So we'll continue our work like this. So thank you so much for your wonderful session. So now I like to invite my longtime friend, that is His Holiness Acharya Satyendra Narayan Ji Maharaj, President of the Confederation of World Religions. He is a guest of honor today. He was traveling from one city to another city. Still, he was able to join. Yesterday, he was not able to join. Without delay, I want to invite Acharya Ji. Floor is for you.
Thank you very much. Long time back I see you today. I'm so happy, Jagat Guru Ji Maharaj. And I miss yesterday. This technology is how much our driver suggests that why you not join in car? You know, daughter marriage is very near and all relative is there. So why we not start meeting in car? So this is, we respect the technology. So first of all, I want to uh, send our all good wishes to all respected uh, our participant yesterday, tomorrow, and from 1 to 30 June, because they all are doing lot of things for in the field of yoga, spirituality, and humanity. So this is the laughter yoga. Really imagine and you say that yogini sadhana is very the uh, charming side of the yoga. And Kamakhya Mandir in Assam, in India, Guwahati, lot of our saint and researcher take this sadhana, yogini sadhana. So this laughter yoga is really charge the full body of yogis. Another part, because this is the yoga event, so yoga is, you remember that we announced very long time back in Northeast in India, Yog Mayam Vishwam Kuru. This is a slogan of Government of India. It is announced by us when we visit in Mizoram, 8 state of India, Northeast region. Yog Mayam Vishwam Kuru. And you all are doing this. All world is involved in yoga. And this is also universal religion. This has power to bring peace, bring humanity, and also prosperity. So all part, you many respected, knowledgeable personality say lot of things. We pray only that our Vedas and Yoga Vasisht is ancient book before the Patanjali, and this is Guru Parampara. So my request is if people learn this Yoga Vasisht also. It is translated many languages. You are the master how you arrange. Technology is very fast. So you real meaning of yoga is that we the all directly. This art really. My request is why not we think about this also, that ancient part of the yoga which Lord Krishna many times say, yo tasmad yogi bhavarjuna, lot of many times. So I don't take more time. Many congratulations Jagat Guru Dileepji Maharaj, and I announce from here Yog Jagat Guru. This is the part of Veda Vyasa. Veda Vyas first announced 5,000 something 500 years back. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. This Jagat Guru title is announced by Veda Vyasa. You all know. So Yoga Jagat Guru, when you come in India, we make here a grand event in India plan, and all your, what we say, Abhishek, we do prepare some Abhishek with mantra and Jagat Guru Veda Vyasacharya. This is the because Veda Vyas doing a lot of work in yoga field. So saying this little words, again I give our all respect and good wishes to all respected participants on this event and coming, and all my good wishes and blessing. Thank you, Guruji, and we wait for your coming in India, and you're doing lot of good thing. God bless. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay, for your motivational message. And even though you are running around to organize your daughter's marriage, you are inviting people, right? Moving around. You are able to join today. So we'll continue. We'll be in touch very soon. And 30th is our final day. And please
Thanks.
go again. Let me know. Okay.
I'm always with you. Always. It is your organization who doing surrounding world the great, all religions in one umbrella, and we're doing all work, very well. So
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
God bless with us. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So I'm so happy Ajay ji was able to join today. He was trying yesterday. So now I like to invite Reverend Bruce Shankar, is director board member of the New York Integral Yoga Institute. I just put this bio on chat box. That way we can save 5 minutes instead of reading. I am reading. You can read yourself. And he started the interfaith committee in New York City. I am part of their movement and as a family member from the Shivananda lineage. So my great pleasure, and I have to mention about their master, Swami Sachidananda Ji Maharaj. He did so many interfaith programs around the globe, especially in New York. Him, Rabbi Galbaman, and Sami Buaji, and so many of them, Mukta, Sami Muktananda, all did wonderful foundation for me to do propagation of interfaith and yoga together. Actually, they did work for me before I come here. So, without delay, I want to invite Reverend Shankarji. Floor is for you.
Thank you. First, let me start by thanking you, Guru Dileepji, for bringing this wonderful group of great spiritual faith leaders together and to making yoga part of the world. So thank you, Guru Dileepji. With your permission, I'm going to start with 3 ohms. Feel free to chant with me. We'll do 3 ohms and then just maybe a moment of silence, and then I'll tell you more about Integral Yoga and Swami Satchidananda. Om. 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 I'm honored to be here. So happy Guru Dileepji is part of the New York Integral Yoga Interfaith Committee, and he's upping our game, you could say, right? Introducing us to wonderful people like you and the great work he does globally. I'm a yoga minister, and what that is Swami Satchidananda referred to us as sannyasi householders. Right? So we are renunciates and dedicated to, in our case, spreading the value and powerful impact of yoga around the world, and particularly integral yoga, which says, you know, ancient history shows if you went to a yoga master and said, can you teach me? He says, yes, I do meditation, I do Raja Yoga, I'll teach you meditation and scripture. And if you said, well, what about, you know, sometimes I'm a little stiff meditating, can you teach me any hatha? He goes, no, that's not me. You want hatha? You go to somebody else. Or you go to the hatha yoga master, right? And he says, oh, I'll teach you hatha, I'll teach you pranayama, right? Yes, but you know, I love scripture. Can you teach me a little bit about the Gita? No, that's not me. You go to the Gita guy, he's around the corner. And Master Shivananda said to the world, why can't you integrate these wonderful yoga practices? Meditate, do pranayama, do some hatha to help your body stay healthy, chant, read scripture. And so this integral yoga approach is what we practice as part of the Integral Yoga Institute in New York and Integral Yoga globally. Now, some of you may be very, very intimate with the work of Swami Satchidananda and some not. So with your permission, I'll show you some pictures so you don't have to just listen to me, right? We'll go through some of these briefly. So I'm going to, okay, here we go. I think I will start right here and give me a moment to just pull up. Oh, let's go back. Okay, can you all see my video screen? Any nods, anything to acknowledge?
You're seeing a white background.
Okay, good. Just give me a second. Okay, And it's acting a little tricky today. I don't know why, so please give me a moment. Oh, I know why. All right, bear with me one more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Good.
Okay, good. Thank you. So this is about Swami Satchidananda and his work. And I will start. So Swami Satchidananda started out as a householder, right? He was married. He ended up having children. He ran a movie theater in India, right? He was
Right.
from Tamil Nadu, right? He ran an automotive business, right? And at one point, then his wife passed away. And his parents came to him and said, well, we know you want to be a sadhu. We'll take the children, we'll raise them. And so that's what happened. And he traveled around India studying. And he studied with several different wonderful teachers. Right? Ramana Maharshi is one of them. And we think of Ramana Maharshi then as one of our gurus. And Sri Aurobindo, right, was also another person who he spent time with. And then he found Master Shivananda. Right? And Master Shivananda said, you don't have to worry, go around anymore. This is your place. You stay here. So this is a picture of actually Swami Satchidananda, right, who's one by the book. There's the famous Swami Chidananda, right, who's also sitting on your far left. And it was very clear that Satchidananda and Shivananda were meant to be together. At one point, Master Shivananda said, you need to go. First, he said, you need to go to, in the time called Ceylon, right? Now we know Sri Lanka. And you need to share integral yoga there. And Swami Satchidananda was giving talks then in Europe in different places. And he met this man who you see in the picture called Conrad Rooks, who was a filmmaker. And Conrad said, oh, the Western world needs yoga. Could you be in a movie that I make? He made a movie. And I'd like you to meet some of my friends in the US. You need to come over. I'm sending you a ticket. You need to come over to the US. Well, not long after Swami Satchidananda was here, people started to get to know him. And you all know about Woodstock. Well, when the Woodstock promoters found that they were having hundreds of thousands of people coming, they were getting nervous about what would happen. And someone said, let's call Swami Satchidananda and do some chanting. He'll bring peace to this event. So they flew him in by helicopter. And this is one of the wonderful pictures of Swami Satchidananda chanting and speaking the opening comments to the Woodstock Peace Festival. And me personally, I think it's one of the reasons why Woodstock was such a peaceful event, right? Because they had the blessings of a God-realized soul to help them on their way. So after that, he became more popular, as you could imagine. So he started getting students who come to study with him, to study him seriously. One of his most well-known students is Peter Max, right, who is still in the body. I've met Peter several times, a very devoted student of Sri Gurudev Swami Satchidananda. A little while after he was established, Swami Satchidananda said, the way to really come together as a planet, as the human race, is through interfaith, through recognizing our oneness, through the different ways that we worship the divine. So he started doing interfaith ceremonies around the country. This is one, and there he is, right? I think he's waving the light. The man holding up the Torah scroll is Rabbi Gelberman, right, who Guru Dileepji just mentioned. And they were very famous for doing annual talks called The Swami and the Rabbi. Right? And I had a chance to be in many of these wonderful talks where they just loved each other and laughed. And there's Brother David Steindl Rast, another dear friend, right, a Christian brother, right, who were at many of these events. Here, Swami Satchidananda is meeting with the Dalai Lama, who was so happy to meet him and give him his blessings. I don't have the picture of the popes, but Swami Satchidananda met with many of the popes. And he coined a phrase, the truth is one, paths are many. Right? To recognize we're all worshiping that one divine, but there are many equally legitimate ways of getting there. So he had a dream, and he started off by drawing it on a napkin. And his dream was to build a temple where all these different faiths could be worshipped together. So he built over time, and I was happy to say I was part of the fundraising for that in those years, right? This Lotus Temple, Light of Truth, Universal Shrine. I may be there. I don't remember if that was a picture I was part of, but we opened and we inaugurated the temple. And inside the temple, you can see is a shrine to each of the major faiths, and then a light coming up through the center, going to the top, and then breaking down into different lights, illuminating each of the altars. This is in near Charlottesville, Virginia, in called Buckingham County. If any of you are ever anywhere near there, I invite you personally to come to the Lotus Temple. It is so spiritually charged. You will feel it the minute you walk in there, right? It is charged with God's blessings, right? And it is an amazing place, as you can see. Swami Satchidananda also gave us what we refer to as the Integral Yoga Yantra. Some of you more scholarly yogis will recognize it as the Bhuvaneshwari Yantra, right? But we also used it to depict the different faiths, right? To show there is one truth and those different paths. Swami Satchidananda was a true sadhu. I'll tell you one very brief personal story. I was in the 70s. I was going to NYU in Greenwich Village, New York. It was a very open environment, and I was looking for my guru, right? And I saw many great spiritual teachers who were in New York and gave talks and all of that. And I said, all of them very wise men and women, right? But I felt like sometimes they were giving me book knowledge. You know what I'm talking about, right? Somebody who tells you about a scripture, tells you about God realization, but they were telling it like it's somebody telling you about Paris, but they never been there, right? When I met Satchidananda, I knew instantly, was overwhelmed that he was speaking from the true experience, that he had that realization. And that's why he was able to get thousands and thousands of people around the world to love yoga and to begin to meditate and practice yoga. He was also very accessible, though, right? He said, you want to know the way I love to spend my time the best is to play with children. So you can see here, right? Very loving, very accessible. His satsangs were filled with laughter and love and profound insight. Many of those satsangs are now available on YouTube. That's technology, right? They're on YouTube. All you have to do is type in Swami Satchidananda, right? And you will see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 satsangs, which are so super, super valuable and useful. He founded also Yogaville, which is where the Lotus Temple is. And I will tell you all, I'll share my screen right after this. I'll give you 2 web addresses, should you be interested to learn more. So we are in the lineage, as Guru Dileepji said, of Master Shivananda. We have the practical, accessible teachings of integral yoga through Swami Satchidananda. In fact, his book on the Yoga Sutras is, I've been told, the #1 purchased book. He has such amazing commentary there. So Swami Satchidananda on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, if you ever want to introduce someone to the sutras, his book is just, especially if they're English speaking, his book is so accessible for them. I want to just take a moment more to share with you another great gift that Satchidananda brought to the world, and that is the gift of chanting God's name. We know we can be transformed by this. We know that when we chant the divine's name in all of his and her forms, we become the divine ourselves. So instead of just talking, instead of just showing you pictures, I thought I would just take 2 minutes, right, to give you, share with you a little yoga experience, and all the great yoga masters who are the panelists here, I'm sure can add so much more than what I can say. But let's just do, how about, since this is about well-being, right, Guru Dileepji, this particular day is about well-being, and well-being is a lot about our inner peace, keeping our inner peace. So why don't we do the Om Shanti chant? We'll do it responsively. So whether you're with your microphone muted, on or off, whatever you want is fine. I'll chant a line. You can chant it wherever you are. And by the way, if you're watching this as a streaming or even as a recording, please, it's no less powerful for you to chant along, right? So we'll just do a minute of that. And then I'll do a closing chant and thank Guru Dileepji again. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om
Shanti, Om Shanti,
Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om
Shanti,
Shanti,
Om
Om
Shanti,
Om.
Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti Om.
Shanti, Om.
Om.
Shanti Om.
Shanti Om.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire creation be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all ignorance. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Sadguru Maharaj Ki.
Yay. That was a beautiful presentation. I know we need more time to talk about Swami Satchidananda. That's a lot to explain to people, but at least we started. That's good. So we upcoming events we'll put more on here.
And everyone, I put in the chat, if you're interested in learning more about Yogaville or the Lotus Shrine, or if you're in New York, call me and we'll visit the New York Integral Yoga Institute. So Guru Dileepji, thank you again for this great honor and for the chance to be with these wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. That was a beautiful presentation. I love it. And you brought the Om Shanti Om. That's a popular chanting with the Swamiji. Brought me to the old memories with him. So now I like to invite some of my colleagues from the UN NGOs. First person is Dr. Monica Sanchez. She's a CEO of the Miss CARICOM International Women Foundation, and Dr. Ada Juni Okika, Executive Director of the Center for SDG Global Education USA, and Professor Srigala M. Nair, professor at the Department of Philosophy at Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kerala in India. So I'll invite Monica Sanchez because long time friend. I was not able to communicate her on time for so many events, so I have to give the first chance to her. Dr. Monica Flores for you.
Morning.
Morning, namaste.
Guru, Dileep, thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to greet everyone on the program. I thank you so much for reaching out to me to be a part of this program. It is such an important topic in my life. As you know, we are colleagues at the UN, and I have a foundation that empowers and promotes women and youths. And I myself have to share my experience of how I was introduced into yoga. I experienced some illness that set me back. And so I was looking for a way to recover myself, so to speak. And I was introduced into the world of yoga. And I have to say that I have since shared it with my students that I have, and I want to explain a little bit of how yoga helped me, not only with my physical well-being, but also with my mental well-being. As you know that we have a program that empower girls, empower women, empower youths. And so physical well-being is a very important part of our structure to success. And I was able to share my own experience and transform it into mentorship to my students, how yoga helped me. I had to develop a better attitude because I'm involved in a mentoring program as a teacher. And so I have a lot of young people that look up to me. So I had to first get my own health to a place where it would be in a plus to other people. And so I was introduced to yoga by a good friend named Rick. And the first thing that I was introduced to was the ANS, which deals with the nervous system, the internal function, because I had a stroke and I was also diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had a couple of other issues going on. And so my health was a number one concern. And so my internal function, my nervous system was very out of sync. And so after that, as you know, I went into freeze mode, which is the SNS, which is fight to flight mode, where your system just freezes up. So you cannot develop that healthy state of being. So then I was introduced into ANS, which is the rest and relaxation of the mind. And this is where I learned to breathe. I learned to breathe, to sync my mind, to focus on my third eye, and to sync my mind into a state of relaxation where I can breathe and I could regulate my internal functions just by relaxing. You know, for example, you may be in the midst of someone and someone may say something really negative to you and your heart start racing and then your mind start interpreting all other kind of stuff. Well, I learned that the ANS system of rest and relaxation, to breathe, just to breathe. So I learned, and I learned this and I practiced this, to breathe. I learned to relax my mind, relax my muscle, relax close my eyes and go into this quiet place of relaxation and just get in sync with my breath so that I could feel the sense of being and the sense of purpose. And I want to say that this helped me to build back my physical strength and my emotional resilience. And so yoga has helped me to occupy a more peaceful place in my life. I am now able to share this with others as for the importance of breathing. I am not so physical to do a lot of physical exercise, but I want to share with all those who are listening that if you could just take some time out, 5 minutes a day, just to close your eyes and relax, just to get in sync with yourself, just breathe, allow your whole body to relax and just focus on your third eye and just breathe and come in sync with your breath, then you would see the great benefits of the ANS system. I am still a student. I'm still in the learning process because, like I said, I was introduced to this at a time when I was in an emergency of my health situation. So now that I'm in a better place, I am trying to educate myself a little bit more about yoga because it has been so wonderful and helpful to me. I was able to share it with so many other colleagues and students, and it has been helpful to them. So Guru, I want to say this morning, thank you so much for all that you have contributed to society in your yoga journey. And I am now a faithful student because it has been so beneficial to me, and everyone that I've shared with, it has been so beneficial to them. So I thank you so much. I wish you well, and this has been a wonderful, wonderful program. Thank you so much to all the presenters on this. And if before I leave, if we could just take 1 minute just to close our eyes, relax, and just to breathe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Monica Sanchez. You made a good testimony because your personal experience will value more than a Google search. You know, a lot of time people just Google search and come and talk. So I always tell people just bring your own story that will motivate other people to practice yoga. That's why I'm so happy you are able to join today. And I had to acknowledge all of your work doing for the community. So you are true servant of God to take care of people. I admit that part. Thank you so much. So now I want to invite my another friend from UN NGOs, that is Dr. Ada Okika. She is Executive Director of the Center for SDG Global Education USA. We did so many partnership events at the UN and outside Nigerian House and so many on and on. Here is Dr. Ada. Floor is for you.
Good morning,
Morning.
good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are
And good night
joining us from.
In India, good night.
And good night. What a world we are. Thank you, my good friend, Guru, for your wonderful initiatives to keep humanity alive with spirituality. I've been following you up since you started this program early in the month, and I'm so pleased that I am also involved in advancing the cause of yoga to humanity. Now, when you asked me to speak, and I was wondering, spirituality, what is its association with religious belief? Because as someone in the ministry, I was trying to integrate the spirituality and well-being into the scriptures of the Bible. But I now got to the level to understand spirituality much better. Thank you for really getting me involved, because it's an eye-opener. Spirituality, what does it refer to? Whether you are a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you are a guru or whatever religion you are in, what is spirituality to you? Spiritual life, spirituality refers to your innermost self, which gives you the sense of who you are, where you come from, where you are going, and how you will reach your goal and potentials. So your spirituality is your inner self, the inner abode. And we as Christians believe that the inner self is the abode of God in you. So how do you now keep the wellness of this house in you so that you can be able to focus on your thinking faculty adequately? That is what I see as spirituality and well-being. Most of us don't understand the fact that our inner self is the united nation of the body, because it houses, it monitors, it reveals, it initiates, it makes, in fact, it builds, it creates room, it opens the door for your intellectual ability and successes. When you sleep, when you meditate, when you are reading, even when you are in exam, the answer comes from your inner self. So the question is, if I understand my spiritual being as this import, how then do I keep it well? That is just the understanding of the entire process. It's like you living in a house without cleaning the house, sweeping the house, changing the whatever you need to change, making sure your house environment is healthy, so that your physical person will not live in a dirty environment. So when we understand that your spiritual refers to your inner self, then keeping it well and maintaining its wellness wouldn't be a problem. So how then do we keep our spiritual self in good wellness situation? Do you understand yourself? One thing is for you to understand yourself, because we know that it is your innermost self that gives you the sense of who you are. Do you understand yourself? Who are you really? At times when you see some of these people shooting gun, doing all this, is an instinct that comes from the inner self. And it comes to manifestation when they cannot control it adequately. So do you really understand yourself? If you do, how do you relate to others? How do you make yourself happy? Because whenever you are happy, what comes out to you is a glorious horizon about the universe, about yourself, about your family, about what you are doing. But when you don't make yourself happy, oh, this the guru has been hating me. How do I deal with him? How do I show him? I'm going to destroy him. These are the kind of thoughts that keep breathing in you. And that is why we have unfriendly friends, enemies of progress, and all the rest of them, because they refuse to understand their spiritual self. How do you see others? How do you hear or listen to your spiritual being? Dr. Sanchez just mentioned about closing your eyes for a minute and reflecting. When you create time to listen to your inner self, is when you now get ideas, when you get the thought, you filter your spiritual self for new ideas to come out. At times I wonder, some of these great people that have made history, how did they do it? Because they are in constant alignment with their spiritual self, who talks to them what to do. You just suddenly see, oh, iPad is created, Apple, laptop, computers, electronics, iPhone, and everything, blue designs for architectural design, everything keep coming. So it is the operation from the inner being, from the spiritual self. And if you are not in alignment with your spiritual self, you can never be positive in whatever you are doing. Another point is that, do you understand your understanding of the life where we live, the nature, the environment? Is it meaningful? How do you balance human existence with your personal self? How do you fit in? We have things of nature, the green nature, the climate change, the water, the air. How do you fit in? There are some people that take it to go to the stream, go to the river, go stay by the ocean, look at the way the thing is bubbling, and they reflect, they inhale a new thing, new healing inside them. And by the time they come out, their mentality is so relaxed, is so settled. You see them reasoning adequately. Some sit in the tree on the park, and all the rest of it. How do you understand your environment? I have a sister, every morning when she takes her bath, the first thing she will do before she dresses up is to stand naked in front of her mirror and begin to talk to herself. That is her spiritual being. By the time she finishes it for 10 minutes, she is so refreshed. Her mental IQ is so balanced that she is so fit for the day. So what is your strategy? Another aspect is, I don't give me a little time, please. Another aspect is the meditation. What kind of meditation? Do you fast? When you fast, you empty your inner track, the spiritual track, you empty it. When you fast, you take away some food, you don't eat something else, your system becomes detoxed. Your spiritual system becomes detoxed. How do you practice mindfulness? How do you live a sincere life? These are the kind of things that how do you develop the creative power? Do you pray always? Do you reflect? There are some people that there are people who are not used to reading the Bible or reading the scriptures, but they read models. There are people that they are models to them. They study them and it's empty. They give time to studying them. So the outcome, what is spiritual wellness, is a lifelong process of fostering healthy relationship with yourself. It is a personal higher power leading to inner fulfillment and peace. It is your personal yoga. So let us just refresh our minds and see how we can begin to adopt some of this. I wish Reverend Guru would just make a book of all the presentations this month and then come so that it can be a resource to many that don't know what's really, to be a resource. We can help you put them together and it becomes a book that can be given out to many to learn some of the, because some people punish their spiritual being and don't keep it well. And that is why we have issues. We are frustrated, we are angered, we are bitter, we feel like committing suicide because we sort of package unnecessary packages to our spiritual self. And that is why we need this wellness to a great extent. I thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Ada. You brought the spiritual well-being very well. And you're expert in that field for a long time, especially education. I remember and I think 2019 we had a program overnight. You want to get a guest speaker from the diplomatic mission. So I just text to the Japanese ambassador. He said, "What is it about education?" Right away, he said, "I'm coming in the morning." We never get people like that. Yeah? So this is very important to have education. I remember the days when I worked for the total literacy campaign in my district. That was the first project during my college days happening in Kerala state. And within 3 years, it became 100% literacy in Kerala and in my district. Then after 5 years, it became 100% in Kerala state, and government of India took as a project all over India. So I did really hard work. I go to different people's house and find out who are the people went to school, who can read, who can not write. All the questions will make it and make a list and go and pick 80 years old, 90 years old people and bring to the class and teach them. So we did really hard work for that. So anyway, it was beautiful. Dr. Ada, always with me for so many events. We are recording this one. We are going to put in the YouTube so we can make it book, definitely. So next speaker is Dr. Professor Srigala M. Nair, Professor of the Department of Philosophy at Sri Shankara University of Sanskrit in Kerala, India. You see the photo behind me, that is the picture before her college. This water is coming from big mountain and reached to a dam area, Budatangat Dam. The water is coming in front of my property. So I put the picture from my land, put it here to welcome our professor. Professor, floor is for you.
Lovely. Thank you, Dileepji, for that. And today I'm going to speak, I'll try to wind up in another 10 minutes. Yoga for communication, exploring the non-local nature of consciousness for 21st century communication requirements. This is a huge problem, but I'll try to summarize it as much as I can. So friends, in this era of information, more than information production, dissemination of information seems to be the task at hand. The reason being that for the enhancement of social veritastic inputs, knowledge dissemination has a greater role than knowledge production. With the revolution of information technology, we have made significant advancement towards it. But what next? What after this information technology? Can we transmit information with the speed faster than that of light? This is something the Orthodox school of physics will never permit us to accept. But since the event of quantum, the school of physics have acknowledged the possibility of a paradigm shift in their traditional conceptions on locality, velocity, and phenomenality. The present paper would argue that by exploring the possibilities of non-local nature of consciousness, we will have a paradigm shift in information transmission. What is non-locality of consciousness? Let me explain. Today, understanding the nature of consciousness is a grand enterprise jointly undertaken by a handful of disciplines that fall under the faculties of both arts and sciences alike. The reason is simple. Consciousness appears as the single agency behind the so-called mental for philosophers and the unseen potency behind the quantum energy for at least some physicists like Roger Penrose, the Nobel laureate for physics in 2020. Now, merely locating consciousness as the single pill for all our ontological woes doesn't resolve the problem. Questions like what could be the nature of consciousness and how the so-called consciousness functions as the individual subjectivity that runs transactions with the rest of the world are some of the major questions that we need to answer. Despite being attended profusely by philosophers over centuries, these questions are not happily being answered. The Asian, particularly the Indian approaches to consciousness studies are characteristically different from that of their European counterparts. For schools here, Indian schools of philosophy compete with one another to accord a significant position to consciousness in their theories of knowing or being. Though any blanket statement on consciousness covering all schools of Indian philosophy is unavailable, we could meaningfully claim that for the majority of schools, consciousness, usually termed as Chit or Chetana or Chaitanya, is the supreme reality, or at least a significant aspect of reality that cannot be reduced to anything material. Many have explicitly discussed the non-local nature of consciousness. Instances deplete. There are several instances in our Puranas and the Itihasas about the non-local nature of consciousness, where someone who transcends the space at the time and then get across and then communicates things. And there is no surprise altogether, even with uneducated people, of such happenings or the possibilities of such things happen. The research on non-local consciousness is significant for studies in consciousness because it suggests that consciousness can act independently of the brain and the body. This directly challenges the prevailing position of neuroscience that consciousness is merely a byproduct of the complex physiological processes in the brain and therefore is intrinsic and inseparable to the psychosomatic functioning. Evidently, the latter fails to explain the miraculous functioning of consciousness. As a result, the gap between the meager inputs as individual experiences, you get very meager inputs as individual experience, but there is a torrential output as a meaningful world. We raise a meaningful world out of this, interlinked and rich in variety, remains formidable to grasp and hard to be bridged. Now, this suggests that consciousness should be credited with a higher ontological status, something which the Indian systems have duly obliged. Placing consciousness thus in a wider spectrum would be amount to convincing consciousness not as something situated in the central nervous system, but also beyond it. Those who argue in favor of non-locality of consciousness point out that to claim consciousness to be a byproduct of brain function would be tantamount to the claim that telecasting is something that is generated in the TV set. Now we know how foolish it is to claim that telecasting has been done within the TV set. We are disposed to think in this manner because there is a close correlation between the functioning or the malfunctioning of its components and the quality of the sound and the picture. So similarly, we think that consciousness is something that has been generated within this brain functioning. It is vivid from this analogy that the phenomenological experience of consciousness and the cerebral activity are quite like the television set and the programs being telecasted. With this, the thesis that brain only mediates consciousness and does not actually generates it comes to prominence. And current physics and added, I will just touch upon the physics. I'll not go into detail, and then I'll quickly come back to the yoga theory. An added impetus to examine non-locality comes from contemporary physics. Let me sum up the arguments here. See, quantum physics, though the unorthodox school of quantum theories to accept non-locality as a byproduct of the quantum theories, quantum theory displays the three principles interconnected and in a way foundational for classical physics, that is determinism, realism, and locality. And once this comes into the sanctum sanctorum of the physics, well, then you can expect grand changes and acceptance conceptions within the physical theory. As you know, Roger Penrose, in fact, went a step ahead and argued that each quantum superposition has its own piece of space-time curvature, and when these become separated by more than the Planck length of 10 raised to minus 35 meters, they become unstable and collapse. This is an intricate argument, and then I'll not go into the physics part of it because I'll not have time to cover the whole thing. So let me get back to the Indian philosophy. Within Indian philosophy, a broad division has been made between systems that have implicated non-locality of consciousness and those that have explicitly explored the non-local nature of consciousness. Those theories that conceive consciousness not as something transcendental, but a dynamic process could be clubbed under the category of synthetic model of consciousness. In fact, all the Tantra schools, the yoga system, all of them fall under this division. So in this model, consciousness is not considered to be a stable and static entity in the human beings, quite like in the transcendental theories like Advaita, Madhyamaka, and all that. On the contrary, it is said to be present everywhere in latent form. When occasion demands, even the unconscious matter would perform conscious activities. These systems conceive consciousness as something immanent in all that exists. In that sense, Chitta consciousness is identified with Sat or existence. Anything that exists must have consciousness. A contemporary model of synthetic approach to consciousness is seen in Sri Aurobindo's thought. He, in his integral yoga, observes that consciousness is not something being produced by brain, nor is it confined to the brain. Quite like how electricity has not been produced nor confined to any electrical instrument. Say, for instance, an iron box. We know that iron box uses electricity, but it doesn't produce electricity. Quite similarly, our brain uses consciousness, but it doesn't produce consciousness. Chit Shakti, as he calls it, is inherent in the matter, and therefore it can ascend and transform into higher forms of reality. You know that he speaks about the ascent and descent of consciousness. So there are many grades of consciousness higher than the mind, and the mind is the lowest or the starting point in the evolution of the principle of consciousness. As we ascend to the higher grades of consciousness, we are able to gradually dispel ignorance and attain knowledge. So it is the movement of consciousness or Chit Shakti that creates the universe and spreads down the microcosmic level. Consciousness, which lies dormant in matter, when liberates itself, slowly releases itself from the clutches of matter and emerges as life, and it climbs to the higher levels of consciousness. Oh, mind, higher mind, as you all know. All life is a subconscious yoga of nature, says Sri Aurobindo, beautiful, seeking to discover and release the spiritual consciousness hidden within it. Not just prayer or meditation, but every aspect of activity of life can be consciously utilized as a means for spiritual progress. Along with Sri Aurobindo, there were also contemporary thinkers like Sri Ramana, Sri Ramakrishna, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and the guru of Dileepji, all of them. The non-locality of consciousness unraveled in Indian thought, particularly in the contemporary Indian thought, has been brought to the attention of global researchers on consciousness by also contemporary thinkers like Amit Goswami, A.K. Mukhopadhyaya, and V.S. Ramachandran, and other such theories. So I wind up some creative approaches in brain studies conducted by a group of neuroscientists suggest that brain could be conceived as a system kept open organizationally and informationally. This definition implies that brain is an open system, that it can have communication with other agencies. This definition implies that as an open brain, it carries informational transactions with outside world through unconventional routes. Extensive research along these lines, it is presumed, would open up paradigm shifts with regard to non-local communication. If non-local consciousness has been enabled to transmit information, it would be faster than the velocity of light. So this proposal also permits us to conceive a universal consciousness with which this individual unit coordinates and communicates in ideal situations. This is all, common stories as far as Indian philosophy is concerned. A further implication of it would be that brain is only a conventional instrument that consciousness has chosen to locate itself, quite like an electrical apparatus that uses electricity but has no other intrinsic relation with electricity. The majority of human brains are habitually accustomed to behave as closed system and not interested in expanding its boundaries. That shouldn't stop us revising the norms depicting the nature of consciousness. That shouldn't stop us revising the norms depicting the nature or structure of consciousness. Sorry. Therefore, I conclude, as predicted by a contemporary thinker, any furtherance on the studies in consciousness cannot possibly exclude Indian contributions towards it. It is predicted that there will be an intellectual stampede to read luminaries like Sri Ramakrishna, Ramana, Sri Aurobindo, and other contemporaries, as well as Indian knowledge systems by those who do research in consciousness, particularly those who are interested in exploring the non-local nature of consciousness. And I presume that the coming era, the present century would move towards that, where we can have information faster than light, where quantum, the unorthodox theories of quantum, if it gets sanctioned by the physics, would open up avenues, and I'm sure the Oriental wisdom will come handy even for physicists. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor, for bringing different masters' name in this talk. Shankaracharya, we need 1 or 2 days only for Shankaracharya's teachings to present in this event. Next year, we had to make a plan only on Shankaracharya. You see, Shankaracharya brought all the indigenous Hindu or non-Hindu spiritual teachings, brought it in one roof and made 4 madams in different parts of India. Because of that, this flourished very well. Otherwise, it won't happen. In one of the day, we had this chanting of Nirvana Shadagam that will compile all the philosophies in 6 stanza poem. That's the way Shankaracharya was. I'm happy you brought the point. The electricity is in the universe. Nobody is creating electricity. The energy will change form to form anytime, any moment, anywhere. That's the way it is. You brought that point. It's not in the brain. And Atma is not in the brain. People think my mind is not in the brain. So much to think about the philosophy, what is right, what is wrong. A lot of time people give wrong ideas. So our job is to give the right ideas, what is the truth. And people have to develop themselves to find the truth. That's the way it's supposed to be. So thank you for the inspirational message on your short talk. I know you're going to join tomorrow, right? That will be wonderful. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow this week. So now I want to invite my brother, Imam Reverend Arif Haski. He's the founder and president of the Commonwealth Alliance Clergy Interfaith Organization and the Ministry and Spirituality Centers for Humanity. He's going to do a prayer and a short message. Imam Arif, he is an interfaith minister from All Faith Seminary. That's why I know him very well. Yes, Imam, flourish for you.
His Eminency, the Guru Dileepji, Dr. Thankapan, my dear brother, Namaste.
Namaste, brother.
Auzu billahi minash shaitani rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which means in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in humanity, which means peace, mercy, and the blessings of God Almighty be unto you, my brothers and sisters in entire humanity. That is both a great pleasure and a great honor to be here along with you all among those beautiful faces for this World Yoga Festival, which is 8th International Day of Yoga celebration. So today, UP, we are excited with our brother, Guru Dileepji, Dr. Thankapan. Thank you very much, Guruji, for inviting me and make me a part of celebration next to your heart. As always, you are in my heart, not by the heart, but always in heart and my prayers. So God bless you, my brother, for your efforts, and God continue to bless your efforts and your entire team worldwide to spreading yoga, healing people, which is most important. And we need heal people through the yoga, through the religions, prayers, through the spiritual, to the anyhow, just heal the people. People are very desperate today in our needs for everywhere. As you see, about half a world is affected by the war. Brothers and sisters, anything else is great to do and better instead of war. So that was my honor to meet with Brother Guruji as a student at our faith seminary. We shared room in New Yorker hotel that we didn't know that I'm his student, nor he's my teacher. But happens that he's also not only teacher, he's on the trustee at the Our Faith Seminary, trustee board at Our Faith Seminary, which I'm proud alumni from there, and continue working with all of them, with particularly with our Reverend Dr. Kathleen Regan, Dean of the seminary, and all her faculty team, as well board of trustee. And she introduced me with the entire class. Even since I graduated, she always treating me as her brother and bringing me into class, and that I was giving presentation to our faith seminaries class. It was my honor and continue to work together. This is what we are here to work and live together and help one another. As Guruji asked for prayer, I would say prayer for this festival and for our humanity, that God guide us in establishing peace and harmony everywhere. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Dear God, thank you for awakening us this morning after our death to see a daylight, that we can enjoy our breakfasts and listen to the birds call also. Dear God, feed us and feed those birds, feed the humanity, help us to feed one another. Help us, dear God, to celebrate this World Yoga Festival, and not only 8th International Day of Yoga, but make us celebrants every day in our life, that we enjoy peace and harmony and celebrating one another. We thank you, dear God, for all you provide for us. And we ask you, dear God, to help us to provide for those who cannot, who doesn't have enough. Help us to feed them, to give them water, give them clothing, give them a necessity. Dear God, as you know, in Michigan, we have many homelessness, particularly in Detroit public schools. We have more than 6,000 children homelessness, as well abroad our nation, everywhere else. So help us to be those who diminishing homelessness and poverty in our nation and worldwide. Bless my brother Guruji for his efforts, and bless his efforts, and bless his team, and bless those people on his flyer today, his speakers, his listeners and followers worldwide. May God continue our friendship and explore it to the worldwide with peace and harmony. Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Assalamu
Praise the
alaikum.
Lord. Thank you, Imam Arif, joining today and doing the prayer. That is very important to bring spiritual leaders, faith leaders from different cultures and countries, because this is an international program, and we want to make sure yoga is a universal. I put a photo I forgot to put earlier. You see Swami Raman is sitting there, Swami Bo is there, Archbishop Titus is there, Baba Jain is there, Rabbi Galpaman is there, Swami Ramasulubananda, and Sharon Salzberg, and Maitra from our yoga group. And that is in 2007. We officially announced the International Day of Yoga before anyone announced. This is our 35th anniversary of the World Yoga Community and the proclamation of the World Yoga Day. When I came here, Swami Bo brought me to the UN, and I had a meeting with the Kofi Annan Secretary General. He was the active person that day. According to his plan, we had a discussion. Then we changed the World Yoga Day to International Day of Yoga Movement. That's the way it happened. Then we approached the government of India. It delayed because of the political reasons. But because of Modi ji, it happened. Otherwise, it won't happen. So without further delay, I want to invite Dr. Nida Jain, my friend, and she is the founder and president of the International Ahimsa Foundation and one of the district leaders for the Democratic Party in Queens. She's living in Manhattan, Queens. We always meet and we do so many events together. Dr. Nida Jain, floor is for you.
Thank you so much, Guruji, first of all, for inviting me to this gracious event where you have brilliant scholars and speakers on this platform. So Jai Jinendra to all of you. Jai Jinendra is a word how we greet in Jainism, how we greet others, as we say Namaste, Sasyakal, Assalamu Alaikum. We say Jai Jinendra. Jai Jinendra means is that you are born to a soul, and we all have a ability to become a god. Why? Because soul is only one, and we all have the same soul. Soul has no color, creed, or any religion on it. So we bow down to all the great souls who have an ability to become a god. So I don't know, one day our Guru Dileepji will have that power. And all us who are sitting on this platform today to promote peace and harmony through yoga, meditation. We all know how important yoga and meditation are in our lives in today's world. As Guruji said that I'm the president and founder of International Ahimsa Foundation, our foundation main mission is to promote non-violence and peace, especially in our young children. And we also promote yoga and meditation in young children through the school's programs as an after-school activity and through different activities in communities, as we are going to have a Peace in the Park on July 29th in Central Park, where all ages come together and where we perform yoga with different groups for all ages. So we definitely, as a professional, I'm a child psychologist, and I must say, the speaker before who was talking about the neuroscience of how mind works through these techniques. And it is very important for us to really motivate these young children, because young brain adapt things very quickly. We all know that. If we can install these values of yoga in our young generation, in schools, and wherever these young kids go for after school activities, it is worldwide now. We all know that kids are very busy. We send them to different activities. I would request everyone to make this yoga and meditation is a permanent activity everywhere you are involved for children. So they would learn and they would know how important it is in their lives to make this world more beautiful, peaceful, to live with each other in harmony in our communities. That's the only way we can make this world a better place to live for our generations to come. As Guruji always request to do a little prayer, Jain prayer, I'm just going to recite a small mantra, which is for universal peace. And before that, with any mantra in Jain religion, we say 3 words: Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra. What it means? Hey God, please bestow us with right perception, right knowledge, and right conduct. Without these 3 jewels, we cannot have a better life on this earth. So after these 3 words, we say the mantra. Om Ram Hrim Om Ra Asiya Usa Sarva Shanti Kuru Kuru Swaha. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. May God bless us with peace, not only for me, for my neighbors and friends, but for the whole world, as we believe Vasudevam Kutumbakam, the whole world is a family. And I pray once again for everyone's peace and harmony, health and happiness. Jai Jinendra. Thank you, Guruji, once again.
Jai Janendra. I'm happy you came back on time from your travel.
I just came this morning, 2 o'clock,
Right?
but I'm glad
When I was
I
calling, you are in the plane. I'm going to land very soon.
but
So,
as usual, it's a beautiful program and I cannot say no to you. So I'm here.
are you going to the Indian consulate tomorrow?
I'll see, because tomorrow is the election day.
Oh,
As you just said that I'm a district leader from Democratic Party, I have my other responsibility in that role. So we will be very busy tomorrow from morning till 9:30 till the results come.
yeah. So,
But I would request everyone, whoever is a citizen who can vote, please go out and vote. Tomorrow is a voting day. June 28th is a voting day in New York State. And we have election for governor, for assembly people, and for district leaders, for state committee, and delegates to judicial convention. And I'm one of them from Assembly District 25. I'm on the ballot.
thank you. So make sure those who support yoga and spirituality, they should be in the position to support us.
Yes.
I don't worry about it. Those who really care about people, that's the thing
That's true. That's true.
It
That's
doesn't
true.
matter what color or race.
We,
Totally.
nothing matters.
Everyone.
Only humanity matters, and your act for humanity.
Thank you,
So-
Dr. Neera Jain, for your beautiful
You're
message and all of your hard work taking care of political leaders. I know it's very hard to handle them. You are doing very well. And the community.
Thank you. With all
I have to say,
everybody's blessings and support, I'm doing it.
non-violence is very important for
Yes.
our community. Imam, want to say something?
Yes, I'm so grateful to Dr. Nida for her wonderful presentation, and congratulations on your efforts. Dr. Guruji, can I have excuse, please? I have to disconnect myself if I have your permission.
Sure. Yeah. And I
Thank
know
you.
you have other event. Yeah.
Love you all. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. So we had a beautiful yoga day celebration at the UN. That was a last minute plan. So you see some people are sitting with the green shirt. So they are from Isha Foundation. I had a group photo. I had to find out where is the photo. So we had a wonderful time there. Now Sri Suresh ji is going to present a video from Isha Foundation regarding save soil. Is very important. Yesterday he did a wonderful presentation. So we all should work together to make the world in a better place. Here, without delay, I want to invite Sri Suresh ji to present your presentation.
Namaskar, everyone. Thank you, Guruji, once again for this opportunity to be here with all of you. It's wonderful to be with all of you here today as part of this International Day of Yoga celebrations happening at the World Yoga Community. So my name is Suresh, and I'm a volunteer with Isha Foundation, an international nonprofit public service organization, which is dedicated to human well-being, founded by Sadhguru, a yogi, a mystic, and a visionary. Sadhguru has been offering tools for well-being from the yogic sciences for over 30 years in over 300 city centers worldwide. And the organization is supported by over 16 million volunteers across the world. So Sadhguru offers yoga not as a philosophy or a belief system, but as a powerful inner science that anyone can make use of to live peacefully and joyfully and experience their full potential. So we'd like to start by with a short message from Sadhguru that he recently shared on the occasion of the International Day of Yoga on June 21st. We'd like to start with that now.
Namaskaram. This is the most important aspect of yoga, this absolute sense of inclusiveness and the immensity of experience of life. As you breathe, you are one with the atmosphere. As you consume food, you are one with the planet. How can you avoid yoga? Yoga means union. Without this union, there is no life. The question is only, are you consciously in union with existence around you, or are you missing the whole experience? If you know the experience of this union, this is being in yoga.
So today I'm here to talk to you about the Save Soil movement. Guruji was referencing the green shirts that you saw in the photograph behind him. So the Save Soil movement was started by Sadhguru recently. Some of you may have heard about it. So I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about that today. So when we talk about environmental concerns, usually we hear people talking about global warming, climate change, water pollution, plastic pollution, industrialization, and so many other things. But there is one immediate massive problem that humanity is facing, which most of us are not even aware of, and that is the extinction of soil. So what does soil extinction mean? It means that across the world, because we have not paid the right kind of attention to it, soil is losing its vitality and turning into sand. The Save Soil movement is a call to action for each one of us to urge our governments to create policies to revitalize and rejuvenate the soil which nurtures our life. I'd like to share with you a short video about this.
We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects, but we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy. In most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it, now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
the microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by plowing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. We must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
Our future, our children's future, and our planet's future depend on it.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
So as you can see, the extinction of soil is extremely dire, and yet it is the most overlooked ecological problem of our time. So what can we do to save soil? There are many ways that all of us can contribute in the Save Soil movement. Before we look into all the different steps that we can take, one important step that we can take within ourselves is to become aware and conscious that we are a part of this planet that we live on. As Sadhguru has said, this body is just soil, a pop-up of this planet. If we are aware and conscious that we are just a part of this planet, we become in tune with the earth that we walk upon. As we become more in tune with the earth, we will become more aware of how to take care of the soil and of Mother Earth. Sadhguru will now speak more about this.
Above all, when you're doing yoga, your first relationship of being one is with the earth. To be in touch with the earth is important. You might have forgotten, but the body knows that it's just a piece of the planet. Always it knows. When you practice yoga, you want that to become a conscious and a living process for you, so that you experience yourself as one with the earth on which you're living. And I would say 80% of your health depends on this, how much you're in tune with the earth. 80%. 80% of your chronic ailments can just vanish simply because you kind of found a little rapport with the earth on which you're walking or sitting right now.
So as a part of the Save Soil movement, Sadhguru has offered us a process to have this connection with the earth as an experiential process. Sadhguru will now be guiding us through this. All of you can participate in this.
This is for everybody. So for this to happen, one important thing is all of us connect in a powerful way. There is a simple process that we have set up for Save Soil movement. We can do this together right now. I hope you're sitting, not walking on the street or something. If you are somewhere else, just sit down somewhere, okay? You'll be making a little bit of noise, but not enough to disturb the traffic. Sit with your hands open like this, slightly upturned face, eyes closed, and with your mouth closed, you will make the sound continuously you make the sound After that is over, when I ask you to stop, you stop that and bring both your hands, first the left hand and then the right, just beneath your throat, just beneath the pit of your throat. Hold it like this, one upon the other, and sit there like this and envision a world in the next 3 to 8 years' time. Envision a world which is full of rich soil, very rich food, and wonderful human beings, and wonderful every other life. We'll do this. Please close your eyes, hands open like this, and with a slightly upturned face. Let's make this sound. Keep your eyes closed. Take both your hands and place it just beneath your throat upon your chest. Sit still and visualize the entire earth, soil becoming fully alive and rich and throwing out a phenomenal amount of life out of itself. Plants, bushes, trees, worms, insects, animals, birds, human beings, all rich and healthy, living full lives of their own. Visualize this with as much detail as you can. Visualize this with as much detail as you can. The rich soil throwing out immense amount of life, in the form of grasses, bushes, trees, plants, worms, insects, birds, animals, human beings, all with rich life, strong and rich life, living full, exuberant lives, as they should, every life. Take your own time, take your own time, slowly, very slowly. Please open your eyes.
So what was your experience of going through the meditation? You can share in the chat box. Okay. So Sadhguru has asked us to do this practice on a daily basis. I'll recap the instructions. So just sit with your hands open, palms facing upwards, eyes closed, and keep your face slightly upturned. With your mouth closed, utter the sound continuously for 7 minutes. Then stop making the sound and continue to sit with your eyes closed, with your face slightly upturned. Then place both your hands on the upper part of your chest, just beneath your throat. And sit there like this, with your eyes closed for 2 to 3 minutes, being aware that you're part of this conscious planet. So what else can we do? How else can we participate in the Save Soil movement? There are many ways we can participate. All our voices matter. So the movement aims to reach at least 3.5 billion people around the world, which is about 60% of the world's electorate, to inform, educate, and inspire them so that governments will enact policies to safeguard the soil health and rejuvenate soil. The problem is so massive and widespread that without global national policy change, it cannot be solved. So towards this, as you heard, Sadhguru has embarked on a lone motorcycle journey from London South in the UK to South India, covering 30,000 kilometers, that's over 18,600 miles in 100 days. The journey started on March 21st and culminated in Coimbatore in South India at the Isha Yoga Center on June 21st, the International Day of Yoga. The movement and the whole journey has received an overwhelming response from the public, government leaders, media, and the influencers. Sadhguru rode through this, through Europe. He went through all kinds of weather throughout his journey. In Europe, he was riding through ice, snowstorms, and snow with sub-zero temperatures. In Arabia and in Gujarat and Rajasthan in India, he was going through the desert with the high temperatures of up to 54 degrees. And in South India, he was going through the monsoons. It has been an incredible journey so far for those who have been following this. If you have not seen this, the journey is available at the savesoil.org on the events page, and you can go through them through the different events that he has been part of during this journey. It was not just a riding that Sadhguru was doing. He was riding from place to place and holding events in all the places and in between. And also while driving, while riding on the motorcycle, he held many Zoom events and calls. There were a total of 600 events that happened throughout these 100 days. As a result of this journey, 74 nations have agreed to support the Save Soil movement. And over 3.4 billion people have spoken about soil. Just a few months ago, nobody was talking about soil. For example, in the January COP15 conference, over 2 weeks of conference, the word soil was not even uttered. And now so many governments, media officials, scientists, organizations are on board. So all of us need to continue to raise our voices and make policy change happen. A lot of work has been done in this last 100 days, but it is not over yet. The movement needs to be on until the policy changes happen within the governments. For this, we need to keep our voices raised and spend at least 10 minutes a day amplifying this message about the condition of the soil on the social media, which is the fastest way to communicate nowadays. You can educate yourself about what is happening with the soil at savesoil.org website. The links will be posted on the chat box. There is a wealth of information on this website about what is happening to the soil, what is the impact of soil, how it is affecting us, and what are the proposed solutions. You can also see how many organizations, world leaders are supporting. You can see many Save Soil facts that you can simply pick up and post on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, your favorite social media channel. So see how to share this message with everyone, and children can be a part of this also. You can write letters to the government. There's a letters page also. If you go to consciousbanner.org/letters, you can write letters to the government. There's a template of the letter that is you can choose, or you can edit and make your own letter also. So please continue to keep your voices raised for this most important movement of our times. This is for the sake of our children and the future generations. The United Nations has said there is only 60 years of harvest left on this planet. So unless we do something now, things are not going to get better. But we do have the privilege of having this opportunity to turn this disaster around. So let's all work together and let's make this happen. Save soil. Let's make this happen. Thank you all for this opportunity to be with all of you today this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh, for this beautiful video presentations. It's very important. I was totally touched because I was in this moment long time. I remember one of my master in early 90s. He asked me to go for a walk. We went to a paddy field, and he showed me all the plastic in the soil.
That's me.
And he said, this is the future problem. Exact things we are saying that to. I am so happy and glad that Sadhguruji is taking the initiative to educate people, make awareness around the globe. It is very important. And always people think just have a wonderful attire with the yoga practice, be a model, and say I'm wonderful yoga practitioner. That's not the real yogic way of life. I see some gurus are sitting on the throne with the gold, gold and silver, all the metals. Sadhguru sitting in a real chair. I love that part. So I never saw any of my masters sitting on the throne. They're always sitting on the floor with a little mat, or that's how we grew up. They're totally different. I see the way yoga is going from the tradition to a business style. So that has to be go back to a normal lifestyle. Otherwise, we are not the model for the community to take care of the earth and the humanity. Only human beings are doing these unnecessary activities and abuse the earth. No any other animals. When they are hungry, they may go and attack other animals and eat. But we abuse our stomach 10 times we eat. Every single hour people eat, just consume so much. When I went to visit one of my friends' place doing the literacy campaign, I saw one house made of mud and leaves, and two children are stuck in the house. Mother went for work, father already left the family, and they cannot survive. So mother has to do whatever she can to make the children survive. I'm seeing the younger child is eating the feces of the older child. I cannot take that one. I never waste my food thereafter in my life. Try to eat 1 meal a day. I know the life around the globe, how people go through it. So many times I see when the garbage bags piling up in your city with a lot of good food, you know. I think, what about other parts of the world? They're suffering. You know? So we need a globalized movement to take care of every single being as a human being in a family, rather than differentiated because of the culture or the language or the religion or the color. You know, we should make a big awareness. Otherwise, we cannot sustain for a longer time. I'm so happy all the volunteers are working hard to mobilize this movement. Definitely, all of our people will support this movement. There's no question about that. Because we are working hard with the UN groups. Sometimes we think, what's going on with these people? Even political leaders or even religious leaders, they forget about the common people. They all think about the wealthiest people. Who is going to send the satellite to the sky? Who can go to the space with $1 billion? That's the way they think. That's not the life. Yeah. So we'll before I conclude with thanking everyone, I want to show one of the video Gabriel made. I was playing Sami Bua's show during the Millennium Religious Summit at the UN. Sami Bua blew the shell at the General Assembly to bring spirituality and religion at the UN. Until that time, there was not real religious movement happening. In 2000, they made Baba Jain was an organizer for that. So I bring the shell to blow in different events at the UN. So one day we thought people want me to blow the shell in the midnight. So I had to wake other people up in the night time. So make a video in the Central Park. This is how I see the greenery there, so beautiful. You play that one. What is going on with it? So like Monica mentioned about the breathing is the power of breath. So we can hold longer and it will give so much energy inside the body. That's the way it is. The sound is coming from the Om, vibration is there. So anyway, it was a beautiful event today. I want to congratulate all of you and thank all of you to be part of this 27th day. 27 days went very fast. We have only 3 more days to finish this celebration. And next year is our 30th anniversary and the 36th day of the Well Yoga Day Movement Foundation. And the Well Yoga community is also 35 years we completed. And it doesn't matter which year, what year. Main thing is we all come together to bring this awareness, a globalized lifestyle, a yogic lifestyle. That is important thing. So I am so happy that We had great speakers today, and to thank our laughing yogini Poonam Gupta ji, Reverend Bruce Shankar Fen ji, Professor Srigala M. Nair ji, Dr. Monica Sanchez, Dr. Ada Juni Okika, Reverend Imam Ali Faskit, Dr. Nida ji, and Sri Suresh ji Alangar. And those who are in the meeting from our board of trustees, what do we say, volunteers, and those who are watching from Facebook. And I'm so thrilled to moving forward with this project. Definitely will continue this next year as a Zoom meeting and the physical, online and offline. So every weekends we had programs in different cities. Sometimes we go for a 1 hour program, but end up 6 hours we're spending for one event. But still it is worth. We are bringing the yogic knowledge to the community in different parts of the country or the world. And all are coming together with and bring the happiness. They feel good when they do yoga. And some people like only exercise, some people like meditation, some people like singing, some people like philosophy, some people like only eating food, yogic food. That's fine. Whatever we can do, just do it. So slowly the awareness will come bigger and bigger. Consciousness will go bigger style. That is important. And doesn't matter if one person in the meeting or 1,000 people are for me same. Like earlier I mentioned, somebody throw stones towards me or flower towards me. So all same for us. Because this body is not permanent. We are here as a tenant on this earth. Be a tenant, don't abuse the nature. So the well explained in those videos. So make sure whoever watched this video, whoever learned something from these videos or teachings, go beyond this and learn more and propagate and teach. Always we learn, we live in, and we teach. That's the way teachings are. A yoga teacher or a guru, still they are students until their last breath. After we give the last breath, still we travel. We never end our traveling because we came from the universe. So thank you everyone. See you tomorrow, same link. We start 10 a.m. onwards, and make sure be there on 30th, our final day celebration. Appreciate it.